make sure to stop by the website BlackArtTees, only on Etsy.com. 100% black and female owned. We proudly create uniquely beautiful natural hair art t-shirts and African-inspired products. We don't do cookie cutter. Want the same old, same old? We ain't the one. Want to stand up and stand out while doing it? Let BlackArtTees be your voice to tell the world that you are black and unapologetically. So, be bold, be fierce, be you, naturally. Be heard without saying a word. Make sure to stop by the website BlackArtTees, only on Etsy.com. Details in the description box. Check out the new novel from first-time novelist Zori Maxwell called Highfliers, the Book of Trina, the first book in the Highfliers series. When fate brings together college kid Derek McNair and high school loner Trina Jackson, an unusual friendship and bond forms between them. As the two spend a year together, coping with the impending death of Trina's mother, will both realize there's more than meets eye to one another than they first imagined. A coming-of-age tale of love, loss, friendship, and the Black experience in America. Available for sale now on Amazon and Amazon Kindle. Make sure to check out the book Highfliers, the Book of Trina by author Zori Maxwell. Details in the description box.
In Massachusetts dropped a charge of indecent assault against actor Kevin Spacey. Now, this comes after Spacey's alleged victim refused to testify. The man's family say they are very disappointed with the prosecutor's decision. CTM national correspondent Jerika Duncan has been following this case from the very beginning.
Text messages do not simply delete themselves. Yeah, from an iPhone.
No, they do not.
The man accusing actor Kevin Spacey of indecent assault and battery said the cell phone he used that night in 2016 contained incriminating text messages and videos. His mother testified earlier this month.
He had shot a video of Kevin Spacey sticking his hand inside his pants.
But the now 21-year-old, who was 18 at the time, later told authorities he lost the phone. Last week, he pleaded the Fifth Amendment when defense attorneys reminded him that altering evidence, like manipulating screenshots, is illegal.
Those texts are not in the screenshots.
Those texts are not in the screenshots.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
If you have a complaining witness who is allegedly a sexual assault victim, who is claiming the Fifth Amendment and therefore is not going to testify, what have you got? You've got nothing.
The district attorney filed a motion to drop the case against Spacey, citing the unavailability of the complaining witness. The accuser's family disagreed with that move.
The fact that the prosecution has decided not to go forward in no way says that Kevin Spacey has been exonerated. The prosecution was simply faced with a case that, by virtue of the alleged victim taking the Fifth Amendment, they didn't have a witness to say what happened.
We reached out to Spacey's attorney for comment, but have not heard back. The actor is not out of legal jeopardy completely. He reportedly is still facing sexual assault allegations in Great Britain.
This is the prosecutor's decision, not the family.
Correct. The family was disappointed by this. They wanted to move forward. You know, when we spoke to Heather Unruh 2 years ago, she felt like the Me Too movement, this was the time to come out with whatever had gone on, and felt as though the victim blaming was over in terms of culturally. So she's upset.
All right, Jerika, thank you.
Hey guys, it's Nicole here, back on this almost Saturday afternoon. I hope you guys are all doing good out there, and welcome back to Nicole's View. So, you know, I'm a little bit late with this story, but I still wanted to speak on it. I did touch on Kevin Spacey about a couple of weeks ago when I had my live stream and I had Harvey on, I had the True Royal Family on, and we, discussed this. And Harvey, for the most part, let you guys know, gave you the breakdown of this case in particular and whatnot. And for me personally, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad. I could be, and I should be, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all because I expected this. You expected this. This is no shock. Whether you think Kevin is guilty as sin or vindicated and innocent and this entire case was a fraud, either way you look at it, this DA in this case, he followed the law. Yeah, he followed the law. You see, this DA in this case is not like your DA in Montgomery County. Kevin Steele, that whole entire corrupt, racist county up there in Pennsylvania, in Norristown, PA. You see, I can't get mad. It's easy to want to get mad at Kevin Spacey and the system, but I can't get mad when the laws are written out there and you have DAs who actually follow that law and you have DAs who don't follow that law. You see, we have to start going after these DAs who don't follow the law. Okay? These DAs who have obvious agendas. And they're all across this country. This DA basically just followed the law. You have this guy here who said that Spacey fondled him. Okay? And he starts acting all strange. Editing his text messages and doing all these things. Kevin Spacey is a white man. So they are going to follow the law to the fullest extent. Okay? That's just what it is. But if you're Bill Cosby, they're not going to follow the law. They're going to go out of their way to break the law. Okay? Break the law. All right? And get away with it. When you have a judge, you have a DA, you have a system, all right, that is hell bent on putting you in jail, you should not be surprised at this. I'm not surprised at this. I'm not even mad at this because this is what we've been saying if you've been paying attention. Now, I don't know if Kevin Spacey is guilty or not. There are many other questions coming into play. There are many other people accusing him of doing some weird stuff and harming folks. And if that comes out to the light and they can prove it, then send him to jail like everybody else. Okay? But no one should be shocked by this. I'm not shocked by this. You shouldn't either. This is just how this system is. But, I don't know who Kevin Spacey pissed off. Kevin Spacey did not get, we all know, the R. Kelly or Bill Cosby treatment. So far, he hasn't gotten it. It hasn't been dominating the news cycles like Cosby's did, like Kelly's did. And we all know why. But, I guess there's some folks that he has still pissed off. And this article from The Atlantic, in so many ways, is still saying that. And they're saying Kevin Spacey is not vindicated, okay? So the criminal case alleging the actor assaulted a busboy in 2016 has been dropped, but Me Too is more than a reckoning taking place in court. Now, the only thing I do like about this is that it does hurt the credibility of Me Too. Anything to damage Me Too, I'm here for. I know you're probably like, wait a minute, Nicole, we're not expecting this coming from you. Yeah, but I'm looking at the bigger, scheme of things, okay? I'm thinking of the bigger picture. Me Too, it needs to die because it's totally corrupted. It's not genuine. It's not legitimate. It's a money maker. You have actual organizations that spawned from the Me Too lynch mob organization, and they have all these We Believe the Women type organizations. This is a money making scheme. At the end of the day, this is a money making scheme, and black men are the easiest targets. This is why you have Bill Cosby in jail and you currently have R. Kelly in jail. They're the easiest targets. When they want to start going after your Kevin Spaceys, your Harvey Weinsteins, your Bryan Singers, suddenly it just doesn't work that good. And this is proof of that. This is proof of that. And I'm telling you guys right now, whenever they finally go after, or should I say, have Weinstein put on trial, you'll see that. You'll see that. I mean, we've already seen certain things being dropped in Weinstein's case. So Me Too isn't Teflon Don when it comes to these white folks. Okay, it's just not. And I'm not even going to get excited about Epstein being in jail and he's not being able to get out on bond. I'm not even going to get excited about it, because all it's going to take is for some time to go by, for some news cycles to basically, whatever's going on in the news. And next thing you know, they've all but forgotten about Epstein. He's somewhere on house arrest somewhere in his multi-million-dollar home somewhere. So, yeah, while the rest of you are in jail. All right. Okay, so here is the article from theatlantic.com that says, Kevin Spacey is not vindicated. The criminal case alleging the actor assaulted a busboy in 2016 has been dropped, but Me Too is more than a reckoning taking place in court. Now, I want to read this article for you to prove a point as well. Even though this accuser sounds very shaky, hella suspicious and whatnot, even though the Atlantic is basically saying Kevin Spacey is not vindicated, this is not the end, blah, 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 I want to show you how the media plays both sides, okay? And this is why, Spacey didn't get that same vitriol, that same hate that like Cosby got and Kelly got. I'm going to prove a point just right here. Help me. Among the text messages sent by a then 18-year-old busboy on the night in 2016 when he alleges Kevin Spacey sexually assaulted him, that one sentiment in a plea for rescue recurred at least 5 times. At a Nantucket bar, the man had been talking with Spacey, who bought him a number of drinks and, according to the accuser, pulled down the man's zipper and started fondling him. The man texted his girlfriend throughout the incident, expressing shock, confusion, and drunkenness. At one point, he wrote that he got an autograph and a hell of a story. At other times, he wrote, help, help, and seriously help. So I'm going to show you guys something. This right here where it says, the man texts his girlfriend throughout the incident, expressing shock, confusion, and drunkenness. At one point, he wrote that he got an autograph and a hell of a story. And at other times, he wrote, help. As I'm sitting up here reading this article, something just really dawned over me. And yes, I'm going to go back to Cosby to prove my point in how the media, they play both sides when it comes to theirs. So anytime you would read, and go check this for yourself, anytime you would read a regular mainstream media article about Cosby, they never delved into Constance, okay? Constance going back and forth. They never delve into how she kept in contact with Cosby after the so-called incident, okay, where they were basically both touching each other, okay, the same thing, literally. And Constance said that she basically slipped into some comatose state when Cosby offered her Benadryl that she asked for because she said she wasn't feeling good. Okay, she wasn't feeling good, so she needed something to help her. And he was like, "Well, you want some Benadryl?" He didn't slip this in her drink. He didn't force it on her. She took it. She requested it. Okay, so that's something they never write in the articles about Cosby. They just say he's accused of indecent assault, of messing with Andrea Constand. You know, that's kind of what they do. But you see here, they're still even letting it be known. See, when I read this, I can see that this guy's story doesn't sound 100% legit. And with Cosby's, they never even gave you that little bit of inkling like this woman's story doesn't even seem legit. She kept in contact with the man. She kept calling him. She kept wanting to see him, went to his comedy shows. They would never mention that in the articles, okay? If they did mention it, it was probably during his first trial against Cosby when the trial was deadlocked and they couldn't come to a verdict, okay? It was a hung jury. And that may be the only time you may have seen some media outlets report that. But in the second trial, it was full speed ahead. They would omit and not tell you everything about Constand. And see, even right here, they're still letting you know, yeah, Spacey is not vindicated, but this is what actually happened. This is what, happened. This is what they said in the court. Okay? Because see, when I read this, that's what I'm thinking. This guy seems hella shady. Okay? Even when you think they're trying to go after him and trash their own, they're really not. It's in plain sight. The text messages and other communications by the accuser he filmed a part of the encounter on Snapchat too were integral to two legal sagas: the man's civil suit alleging damage from Spacey's explicit sexual behavior and lewd and lascivious conduct, and a criminal charge against the actor citing indecent assault and battery. Both cases have now unraveled. See, they're still letting you know. In the course of defending Spacey's not guilty plea, members of Spacey's legal team alleged that the text exchange could have been edited to remove information that showed the encounter as consensual. They also balked at the news that the accuser's phone, which has to be turned over as evidence, had been lost. On July 5th, the accuser dropped the civil case as his attorney explained. What the man felt the criminal case was enough emotional turmoil for him. On Wednesday, the prosecutor, Michael O'Keefe, terminated that criminal case, citing the unavailability of the complaining witness. The accuser decided to stop testifying. See, they're letting you know all in this paragraph, basically what happened. And I can see why the DA, when you have an ethical DA, why it would be dismissed. See, when you have an unethical DA like Kevin Steele, they're going to go out of their way to make sure to make someone like Cosby or, just any black man look guilty of sin. Okay? That's what they do. So I can't get mad at Spacey. It's easy to want to get mad at him. Yeah, he still holds that privilege in this country, that F6 privilege, but at the end of the day, you have to attack the system because the system is set up this way against us. Spacey's Nantucket case is one of the few high-profile criminal cases to emerge from the Me Too movement. It has thus been frightened with significance, and all along, figures who've been skeptical of the movement have also voiced skepticism about these particular allegations. The popular podcast host Joe Rogan, for example, called them horseshit. And you know what's funny is, this is what you call staying on code. See, for someone like Joe Rogan, he'll come out and say what Kevin is going through is horseshit, I don't believe it, blah, blah, blah. But we'll tell you on the podcast every day that Cosby and Kelly are guilty of sin. Okay, so, but we already know what that is. That's just staying on code, F6 style, okay? Of the Spacey's case will be portrayed as a setback for Me Too, and some fans of the actor are already saying he's vindicated. The truth is that the case and the dozens of other accusations against Spacey demonstrate why Me Too is not only or even primarily a courtroom battle. See, it's funny when this case basically is being thrown out. When Cosby was convicted, it was a milestone. It was triumphant. It was a great moment for the Me Too movement. Go back and look at all the media's BS after Cosby was convicted. They had Gloria Allred out here, all these talking heads, all these devils out here saying Me Too, yeah. But then when Spacey's case is dropped, this just shows that Me Too, it's not only about the court, blah, 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 blah. Excuses, okay? That's all this is. Let's see. The first public claim against Spacey came in the late 2017 from the Star Trek Discovery actor Anthony Rapp, who said that Spacey tried to have sex with him when Rapp was 14 and Spacey was in his 20s. Other accusations flooded in. Spacey said he didn't remember the incident Rapp referred to, but apologized for what would have been a deeply inappropriate drunken behavior. Spacey's representatives have since denied at least 2 other men's allegations. They have not responded to all of them. The director, Tony Montana, said Spacey grabbed his crotch and followed him into a bar bathroom in 2003. An anonymous former actor told Vulture about having a sexual relationship with Spacey when the accuser was 14 and Spacey was 24. Employees and former associates from the Old Vic Theatre in London, where Spacey had been the artistic director from 2004 to 2015, brought forward 20 complaints alleging misconduct by the famous actor. It seems the only requirement was to be a male under the age of 30 for Mr. Spacey to feel free to touch us. The actor Robert Cavis, who appeared in the Old Vic plays during Spacey's tenure, wrote in Spanish on Facebook. So even though, like this article is saying, Spacey is not in the clear, he's not vindicated, which might be true, but he's still not going to get treated like Kelly or Cosby, okay? It's just not that same energy. But we'll see. The career ramifications for Spacey were swift and concrete. Netflix dropped him from his lead role in House of Cards, and Ridley Scott reshot the then forthcoming All the Money in the World, with Christopher Plummer taking the star turn. The stories that kept emerging, however, put a fine point on how Spacey had avoided real consequences for a long time. In 2012, the first year of the shooting House of Cards, a crew member made a complaint about a specific remark and gesture made by Kevin Spacey. The show's production company, Media Rights Capital, investigated. Mr. Spacey willingly participated in a training process, and since then, that time, MRC has not been made aware of any other complaints involving Mr. Spacey, the company said in a 2017 statement. All right. So, yet reporting by CNN alleges that far more than one incident of Spacey acting inappropriately happened on the House of Cards set. Multiple crew members told the reporter, Chloe Malis, that Spacey had a habit of touching male staffers, sometimes by fake wrestling with them as a pretense to grab their crotches, and sometimes in yet more aggressive ways. One former production assistant said that Spacey had put his hand down his pants when the two of them were driving to the set and then cornered the assistant in a trailer when they arrived. The incident came months after the production assistant had, he told CNN, complained to a supervisor that Spacey was sexually harassing him. The supervisor's solution was to never let the production assistant be alone with Spacey while they were on set, the production assistant said. So with all this going on, okay, all this touching and him doing this and that, why does it take a movement, a so-called movement, for folks to come out? Why not come together and come out against him? This is what I don't understand about this. Why does it take a movement, okay, a movement, in my opinion, that is corrupt in all sorts of ways? It shouldn't take a movement. It should not take a movement. It should take you taking your ass to your local police, your local something, and saying, hey, this man did this to me. Okay, I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's Kevin Spacey. It shouldn't take Me Too for you to come out and do this. You don't want him doing this to someone else. So why do you guys sit up here and wait for a movement? This is where I have a problem. This is the problem I've always had about this. Some folks are going to say, how dare you, alleged victims. They come out when they can. They're scared. They're this and they're that. Listen, I get that for children who have been molested. I get that. I get that totally. I get that for children, and I'll even give that for teens. But when you're like adults at this point, when you're full-grown adults, I'm just not gonna buy that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy it, unless you were a child abused, and you come out as an adult. That's different. That's totally different. But I'm not going to buy this man touched me at 22, at 25, at 30, and you don't say anything. It takes a movement for you to come out and say something? No. No, no, no. And once again, I don't want folks to think that I'm sitting up here defending him. I don't. But at the same time, really? Really? It's just crazy to me. It could very well be true. He could very well be a pervert like that. Okay? My thing is, this is what happens when you have a great legal team, you have the complexion for the protection, and you have a DA that's not corrupt and a judge that's not corrupt. This is what you get. Okay? When they follow their laws. You know, I can get mad at Spacey, but for what? When I know this system is set up for him. It's molded for him to protect him, even if he's guilty or not guilty. He's going to have those rights. He's going to have that protection. Unlike you, black man or black woman, it doesn't work that easily. It may work sometimes, but majority, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. So, who's surprised? Who is surprised by this? I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Not in the least bit. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically the majority of this article. You know, and it kind of goes on and on talking about, you know, Spacey and this and that and these other accusers. And listen, if something comes out and it's provable, well, send him to jail. You had no issues sending Cosby to jail. Okay? None. With no evidence. So, it just proves to you this was the treatment Cosby was supposed to get. But he didn't get it. Because he had a DA, he had a judge, he had a jury, he had a whole entire system that was hell-bent on making sure that he went to jail. Framing him, lying on him, bringing up some of the most insane crap imaginable. But this is how they get down. So no, I'm not shocked. Not in the least bit. Okay. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Nicole's View is sponsored by... Make sure to check out Brother Hank's 3 YouTube channels. The first, IBMOR One Man Army Against Racism, ChannelforIntelOnes. Intel from Black or New Copper Race Forums, and BlackArtTees and Latino and all positive people's safety zone. Now, Brother Hank is bringing you the latest news, reviews, commentaries, and so much more on all 3 of his YouTube channels. So make sure to stop by, show your support, like, comment, and subscribe. Details to his 3 channels will be in the description box. Check out the book Grandaddy by author Cavis. Grandaddy is a close-up view into the distant past and back again, a stream of generational consciousness that slows to show the story of a lone black family in white America, from the fiery era of sharecropping in the South to the deathly cold industry of the modern North. The reader will migrate in heart and mind along the span of 3 generations, finding ourselves finally close to how we came to be today. As lived by a lone family torn between time and place, this book tells the closer story of a greater reality, that of the Great Black Migrations, from a racially segregated South up to the equally fragmented northern states, and what was lost by a people along the way. Make sure to check out the book Grandaddy. Details in the description box. Hey guys, it's Nicole here, and I thank you for your viewership. Now, do you have a business of some sort? Do you have a clothing line, a shoe line, hair line, books, music, movies, heck, your own YouTube channel you want to promote? Well, let me know. Email me at NicoleLewisForChange@gmail.com, where I offer a low monthly fee for you to run your ad on my pre-recorded videos. Also, do you just love what I do and want to show your support? Well, support me on Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, Cash App, basically any and everywhere. So show your support for the new Black media and all of our endeavors. Thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next video.